morning. Thank you everybody for coming out to her spotlight panel here at KFAS. A pop culture historian and speaker, and I've been on AMC and the History Channel, and last year I was the Will Eisner Comic Industry Judge, which is basically the Academy Awards for comic books. And I am very, very honored to moderate and just guide this ever so gently, this amazing panel as we have one of our special guests here. Because I want to get everything correctly, Eric, who has been so kind to translate and get coffee for both of them, is going to do the proper introduction.
Oh, well, I actually don't think she does need an introduction. This is Yumiko Shaku. The pleasure of seeing Yumiko on her Godzilla films, and I'm also a director myself, so I directed Ike Boys, which is screening here at 2:30, and we'll have a Q&A session afterwards, so please come to that. She and I will be there. So wonderful to work with, and now a dear friend, so I'll have her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Yumiko Shaku. Hello. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yesterday at the opening ceremonies, you had said that it's been 20 years. And I was besides myself because you look exactly the same as you did 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
And I know you have some published works in regards of beauty, diet, nutrition, healthcare. What is your secret to the fountain of youth? Okay, so it's going to be a top secret, all right? And this was also mentioned last night that it was your first time here. What is the difference from what you observed with the way fans are in America at conventions and the way fans are in Japan?
Yeah, really happy to be here. So much energy here, and so much positivity.
Yeah. So a lot of, as you can see, for those who are just going to be watching this video maybe later on, the room is lined, it's standing room only. It's everybody in the back. And I see that your autographs are sold out immediately. It was something me and Eric talked about. People here are really starstruck by you. However, if you go online, there are pictures of you with Will Smith and Michael Bay. Who have you been starstruck by? Doesn't love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and his new image is online with the yellow suit. I mean, he's got sleeves now, but he's on Deadpool. how did you get your start into the entertainment business?
When I was 20 years old,
So when I was 20, I started working in television, and then I started to get interested in working as an actress. Yeah, so started out as a swimwear model and appeared in a lot of magazines, including the Japanese Playboy, which I should say is a little bit different. Yeah, American Playboy is a bit different. Japanese Playboy is a bit more pure.
And then from there, did someone discover you and then you went into acting?
そうですね、初め、一番最初、私の、女優デビューは、白雪姫ってちょっと映画版があるので、ご存知の方もいるかもしれないんですけど、そこでアクション映画なんですよ。でアクション映画の監督がドニー・イエンでハリウッドのスタートでした。それが割と普段の自分とギャップがあったので、面白いって言ってもらえて、その後すぐにゴジラのお話をいただきました。
Yeah, so first big break for acting was the film Hime, which you would know here as The Princess Blade. And so it was an action film, and actually the action director was Donnie Yen. And it was really fun because it was something really different from who she normally is. And so really enjoyed acting. And then the next big chance after that was Godzilla.
You also voiced a lot of very famous franchise property characters, like from Lara Croft, Angelina Jolie's, the Japanese dub version, and also Mobile Suit Gundam. What was it like doing such major franchises?
You've done your homework.
Yes, and Pokemon.
Yeah, so actually I prefer voice acting because you don't have to get out in front of other people and don't have to be shy. Normally I'm quite shy.
Did you feel a lot of stress to do major franchise characters?
So I guess if you mentioned it, yeah, there is some pressure, but when you're acting, I mean, really you're focusing on your part, and you're just focusing on what is the emotion there. So honestly, she hasn't thought about it that much, just done the work.
Yeah. So you had mentioned Princess Blade. The director also did Bleach. Also, you did Sky High with Yuhei Kitamura, who was the director of Godzilla Final Wars, which... And his film came out after your films with the Godzilla franchise. Did you two actually get to talk about Godzilla while you were with Sky High with Yuhei Kitamura?
Actually, 北村さん、ユーヘイ監督はあんまりゴジラ好きじゃないのかなと思いました。
So not really, and actually she has the feeling that Kitamura probably actually doesn't like Godzilla all that much.
He said, ゴジラをこれまでのゴジラのイメージをぶっ壊す。
Yes, and he was always saying his goal was to basically and destroy all of the previous Godzilla films.
本当にぶっ壊されたなと思いました。
And when she saw the film, she thought, yep, he demolished it.
You were also the lead in Curie, which was done by the director who works a lot with Power Rangers and also Kamen Rider. What is it like being a lead in a film?
Well, actually, it's fun because a lot of her acting work is on television in Japan, and often in those cases, it's much sort of brighter, fun, positive, funny characters. And then her lead roles in films tend to be these very sort of cool, stoic, kind of badass characters. So it's fun. It's she gets to live in both worlds and gets to have different kinds of challenges. So it's hard, but mostly it's fun.
You had mentioned television shows that are a little more lighthearted. I believe you were in a show where people were trying to find their partner or dating in terms of their blood type. And so I guess if more people want to find more for television shows, that would be one of them. What does she feel? Because that was one of the more lighthearted ones, am I correct? It was a show, like dating outside my blood type or something like that. Because if you look at her IMDb,
she's forgotten.
It is so long. It is so long. It is possible to forget what shows you've been. If Gwyneth Paltrow can forget she met Tom Holland as Spider-Man in Marvel, it is possible. You can't blame them.
Yeah, so she's been working in the entertainment industry for 26 years now, so she's allowed to forget a few things.
Great. And as we get a little bit closer to the genre of what G-Fest is, you played two different characters on Kamen Rider. Briefly tell us about the two characters.
Yeah, so the one where she throws the manhole. Yeah, so it was an homage to Captain America with throwing his shield, and that was the idea. And her throwing the manhole became very, very popular in Japan, and so she actually had a lot of manhole-related works. Yeah, so to explain more specifically, in Japan, there's actually different types of manholes for different areas with different characters and designs on them. So she's actually appeared in ads for different manholes in different regions. So she says she's developing a new genre as a manhole actress.
homage to Captain America. And was that your idea, or was that the director's idea? Oh,
It's the director's idea.
it's the director's idea. Did you recognize it when he said, I want you to do this? Did you immediately know that is Captain America? That's how, because we mentioned very briefly Captain America, what is kind of your favorite franchise in American Hollywood films? Any characters, any movies that you really love?
So one of the things that she's really been enjoying with her family recently is Back to the Future. Yeah, her son is 7 years old, so it's perfect.
And in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, what is it like seeing people who cosplay as your character?
Yeah, so she actually hasn't seen that, but she's delighted to know that there's a Kane cosplay out there.
Oh my goodness. So if you, her autograph session is later?
1 to 3. Yes.
1 to 3. As you're getting her autograph, if you pull up on your phone and there's a cosplayer that you find on Google Images of her character, please show her. So very quickly, while you're getting her autograph.
Yes, please, she'd like to see it.
How did you get casted into that role?
Yeah, so the director had seen The Princess Blade and really liked it, and thought she'd be perfect for the role in the Godzilla film, and so that led to the offer.
Did you know at the time that you were also going to be briefly in Godzilla Tokyo SOS? Did you know that you were going to be in 2?
SOS はちょっとしか出てなくて、それは私はもっと本当は出たかったんですけど、北村隆平監督のスカイハイっていう映画が決まっていて、SOS の出演時間が少なくなってしまったんです。
Yeah, so actually definitely was the plan to appear in the sequel, and actually originally the plan was for Akane to have a much bigger role in Tokyo SOS, but she got the offer to be in Sky High with Yuki Kitamura, and that sort of the double booking on the schedule, so her part had to get shrunk on Godzilla Tokyo SOS, but originally it was planned to be much, much bigger.
This was similar to when James Marsden was mostly Superman Returns. That's why he was barely an X-Men and was immediately killed off by Jean Grey in the beginning. It's because sometimes you have a double booking and you're on a different film. Other than the character that you played of Akane, what other character would you have liked to have played in the Godzilla franchise?
So we'd really love to play one of the Shobiji.
Were you a Godzilla fan before you were casted?
I have never seen that.
Yeah, but once she got cast, she went and she rewatched all of the films leading up to it. But her son has seen all of them, and her son definitely knows Godzilla better than she does now. Yeah. Really likes Jet Jaguar.
So, from an actor's standpoint and also a parent, does your son see you and then see you sitting next to him and then see you in the film? Does he get confused? Does he know?
Yeah, so I mean, it's obviously pretty strange, but so her son's seen her other films as well, and he was bored or scared, or but with Godzilla, suddenly it's like sitting up, it's like, oh wow, Mom, you're so cool. Yeah, so his favorite part is the absolute zero, and he'll do that around the house. And it's like absolute zero.
And you took your role very seriously, which is what every fan likes to hear, and you watched all the films and you studied up on it. When did it occur to you that you were going to be immortalized in this franchise forever?
Yeah, so it's actually been very surprised. I mean, when she was cast, she was aware that Godzilla is beloved around the world and was part of this popular series, but didn't really know how popular this character is all around the world. And her first hint that this was much bigger than she thought was actually after it was finished, and she went overseas for another job. And actually, the immigration agent at the airport stopped and looked at her and said, "Wait a minute, you were in Godzilla. You were Akane." And that was the first sign that this was a big thing.
And, we know that your character kind of goes off in Tokyo SOS. Where do you think your character is now? What is she doing now?
I think Prime Minister, like.
So if Toho were to come to you with an offer for a spin-off series about your character, would you do it? And if so, what do you think your storyline would be?
Yeah, so first of all, yes, absolutely, spin-off. So to be really honest, what she'd really like is to get back into her combat uniform and get back into K2 and pilot him again. So a couple years ago, some of you may have seen the Godzilla heroine special. That she, after 20 years, she got back into her combat gear again, and it still fit. So.
And to bring back to the beginning comment, your top secret beauty regimen worked because clearly it's going to fit 20 years later. To show the popularity and the love of your character, Andre, you have a photo from a popular anime that we pulled up, and there you are in Singular Point, in Godzilla Singular Point on Netflix. Did you know that you're in that scene, in that?
This is the first she's seeing this.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
You're with the forest, yes. And his daughter.
It's your character.
So actually, she has a question for all of you, which is what makes Akane so cool to all of you? What's the secret? Why is she so popular?
She rides a Mechagodzilla.
She had to deal with such trauma by wiping out her entire squad, but she didn't let that stand in her way, and she overcame that and overcame the harassment from the other soldiers.
Yes.
And she rose up and she took Godzilla down until the sequel. So amazing. You were so cool.
I think she's going to start to cry. Thank you for the wonderful lines.
With Eric here, we talked briefly about the Ike Boys. Briefly tell us what that film is about and also her role.
Well, this is for me. So yes, I had the pleasure of directing Yumiko and Ike Boys. And so Ike Boys is set in 1999 in rural America, in Oklahoma. It's about a couple of high school best friends who don't like being in high school, and they escape from being in high school by watching anime and tokusatsu. And they get cursed by a magical anime that turns them into heroes, just in time to save the world at the end of the millennium. And she plays a very mysterious woman living there who gets involved in the adventure and has a secret. So if I say anything more, it's spoilers. So Reiko character in Ike Boys is, also kind of cool and badass like Akane, but a bit more overtly sexy. So her husband is played by Billy Zane.
Which led me right to my next question. What is it like knowing that your husband is played by Billy Zane? Everyone knows him from Titanic, one of the highest grossing films, and also won 11 Oscars and has. What is it like knowing you're with someone who's like part of Academy history?
したが。Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Billy is a huge star, and you know, so there was a lot to learn from him. Yeah, so this is something I can certainly speak to as well, but Billy, when he's filming, he will just, he'll perform many variations of the same scene and the same line. Sometimes he won't let you wait to say cut, he will just keep going. So it was quite an experience. There's a lot more I can say about that.
And Ike Boys comes out, is it in October? From the trailer I saw through Shout Factory that does many great franchises. They're a distributor.
Well,
when does it?
It's streaming here now, so it's
now. Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime and Tubi, and you can also rent it. But it'll be having a Japanese theatrical release next year.
Okay, I think that's the time that I saw on the trailer.
Yeah, that was the release last year. So.
Yes, and that is incredible because people in your film also included Quinn Lord, which is like Man from the High Castle. You also have, Ronak Gandhi. He was in a show called All Rise. The lead is Simone Missick, who played Misty Knight in Luke Cage. So you have this incredible cast of people together in your film. It's incredible.
Well, we were just focusing on the work at the time. All of these people are our friends, so don't really think of them as amazing legends, just friends we worked with.
Yeah. And you've worked on American productions like Ike Boys and also Japanese productions. What is your takeaway in the differences of how they work?
Yeah, so there's a strike on right now, so that's one thing. But America really takes care of its actors more than Japan. All of the rules are sort of very strictly set for what the protocols are on set. So that's a big difference. Yeah, so to give an example of how tough Japanese sets are, so for Princess Blade, they were shooting around the base of Mount Fuji and had to drive to and from the set every day. It was a 3-hour round trip. So at these long days, we would drive to set, go home, take a shower, and then basically go back to set. So Donnie Yen was in charge of the action, and he was really scary and really strict. But she actually, doing all this rope work, she actually broke her finger. But couldn't take a break, so what she did is she wrapped it up in cloth and then tied it to the sword and kept performing. So was doing all the action work with a broken finger. So Japan is tough.
And you've been part of some of the most popular franchises like Godzilla, obviously, and Kamen Rider. What are some dream directors or movie franchises you would love to be a part of? We're going to manifest this for you because we want a beautiful and long career for you.
You made her tonight. So, well, first of all, she's really, really happy to be here because, she's a mother now and is busy with her son. So that's what most of her life is. And so it's a real treat to be here, surrounded by friends and surrounded by fans who want to support her. So she loves action and is trained a lot and does a lot. So really wants to do more action, do more swordplay, more martial arts. So that's, Yeah, and so actually before Ike Boys, she was in a horror film shot in Canada. So. Yeah, so it was filmed before. It's a movie about a pandemic spreading, and it was filmed. Yeah, so it was filmed the year before COVID and then released in Japan the year of COVID. Prophetic.
So we have a couple of minutes for questions from the audience. We just please kindly request no comments and please keep it to one question. We're going to start with the cap, the white t-shirt, the cap again, and you. And let's start with this. So try to remember exactly the line I gave you, okay?
So, what was your favorite scene to shoot in Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla?
桐生、私に力を
So to give you an idea of how focused she was during that scene, she actually fainted and lost contact, and they had to call an ambulance to revive her.
Lovely person with the white t-shirt.
I recently watched Princess Leia, and I was surprised to see that she was using the special effects. And I was wondering if maybe she worked with them or had a chance to interact with them at all.
Yeah, so I did get to interact with him, and it was neat because it was her first film, and it was before he was working in in effects then. It was before he got really famous. So she was really impressed and would love to appear in one of these films.
So, yes, with the cap.
You can transform to any type of
Oh my goodness. I had said, ooh, okay. Really quick, because I did do this side, I don't want to make sure, because I want to make sure I turn my head. Pink, and then the jean jacket.
Do you have a favorite memory working on the production of Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla? Any experience or something that particularly stood out to you that you really treasured?
Actually, 私は実際に日本の自衛隊に訓練に行って映像にはカットされている部分のすごく大変な訓練もたくさんあってそれはなかなか普段参加してはできないことなのでいい経験ですし感謝したい気持ちになりました。
So so part of training for filming and part of filming was going actually to the Japanese Self-Defense Force base and training there. And then there's a lot of stuff filmed, a lot of really, really tough training. The toughest parts actually got cut from the film, but that was a really special and unique experience.
Jean Jacket, yes.
Thank you for coming. Who are some women you looked up to in films of any genre?
So yeah, it was a really special experience to work with Kumi Mizuno, and really got a sense of her love for Godzilla and her respect for Godzilla and her desire for the character to be loved. Just she was a very powerful presence.
And since this lovely young person earlier had mentioned how much your character inspires not just adults but also children, do we have any children in the audience that want to ask her a question? Yes, we'll have Green and also the lovely little squid hat right afterwards.
If you could be in any Godzilla movie, which one would it be?
Yeah, one wants to act alongside Mothra. Yes, so in Japan, there's a really popular smartphone game, Godzilla Battle Royale. Is that been released here yet? Yeah. Do you play it? Yeah, so she's a voice actor, right? That's her doing the lines for Kiryu.
Ikuyo, Kiryu!
Do you have any other tokusatsu properties that you enjoy?
Ultraman, of course.
I see a child here that raised their hands, and I want to make sure I try to get to them. Did I miss? Okay. We'll have a question over there. Back.
Filming has changed so much in the way that they do things. It was a lot of puppetry and so on, and now it's AI. What do you prefer? How many differences are there? Are there things you like or not like?
Yeah, so really likes the old-fashioned way. Really likes focusing on one shot at a time and making sure that it's each shot and performance, the angle, everything is just right. So the old ways are the best.
Yeah. We have two very patient people waiting, a black t-shirt and a green t-shirt. Yes, what is your question?
So, when you read the script for Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla, did you see any of yourself in a comic?
Yeah, no, Akane was actually a fairly straightforward character to play. It's like carries a lot of responsibility. It sort of has a lot of dark feelings, but has a really strong core, and those are things she could definitely relate to. It came very naturally.
Yes.
So this is Shaku. Apparently you have a custom Zaku from Mobile Suit Gundam, and my question is, if you could either, if you had the option to pilot Kiryu or your custom Zaku, which one would you pick?
ガンダムか、選ぶとしたらどれに乗りたいですか？
Well, that was obviously Kiryu. So Kiryu is Mechagodzilla, but has a soul, has a heart, and so, really, obviously there was a new Mechagodzilla in Hollywood, piloted by Shimoguri, but really prefers Kiryu. Kiryu is the one that's the best.
Time, and we have so many amazing questions. You may want to ask whether she's open to answering them if you are in line for autographs. But is there a place online where you reach out to fans, whether you have a blog or social media, somewhere where you are able to connect with them?
SNS を聞いて、インスタグラムで、昨日のこととか、こっち来たことをアップしているので、日本語だけチェックしてください。
Yeah, so it definitely has an Instagram, so please check that out. And actually wrote about the things she did here, already posted there. It's all in Japanese, but please enjoy.